Sciambra, welcome to In My Shell.
Cool.
You are the founder of Nicky's Nice Plants here in New Orleans. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start a landscaping company.
It kind of just happened organically, honestly. That's a good way to word it. I went to start 2023, January 1, I went to rehab, got sober. I came home, my backyard, I own my house. So I came home, my backyard was a total dump. As you could imagine, I was, kind of on a bender for a year or two straight. And I was like, I didn't have a job. I didn't have much to do. So I was like, well, I'm going to fix my backyard, and I did that. One thing led to another. There's a pool back there. And so I hosted people over the summer. I was renting to some girls at the time who had parties and stuff like that. So people who had been here before came and were like, whoa. Like, who did the backyard, Like, it looks incredible. And I was like, oh, I did it. And they were like, no way. Like, you should do this for work because this is crazy. We'll come pay you to do our house, And I ended up doing that. So I went and did a person or two's house. And then my mom saw those and was like, well, you need to come do my backyard. And so it kind of just, what went from like helping some friends and stuff. And I was also working a general manager position at a club. In the French Quarter, yeah. It was one of my first jobs sober. Okay. Ironically.
Yeah.
But right before Thanksgiving, they sold it. New owners fired everyone. And so that's really when it started. I had a buddy of mine who's a realtor that we grabbed coffee, once or twice a month. And he was like, well, man, what are you up to these days, And I was like, well, man, I've been pitching around the idea of doing this landscaping thing, done some stuff for some friends, and I showed him. And he was like, bro, he was like, I got like 30 listings right now that half of them need at least fresh, stuff in the front yards to list, to take pics. And so he was like, start a company and I'll at least be able to float you some work for a month or two. And I was like, all right. I went home, did everything that day, like got right with the state, got insurance, all that. Well, got right with the state. That takes about a week. But like once everything cleared and got my bank account set up, got insurance, and that's how we started. And the rest was kind of just history. I linked with a business coach that I met on Instagram, Logan Sendel,
awesome.
Blue Collar Business Accelerator. Yeah, I owe a lot of the knowledge that has helped me get the success and grow in the way that I have in such a short amount of time from him. So definitely any young entrepreneurs, especially in a service providing lane, looking to get better, could definitely tap in with Blue Collar Business Accelerator.
Okay, so you come back home and word of mouth seems to be very key in your success. Definitely. I can imagine that must have been like a confidence boost, after you're coming back from something where you have to like recover, and then people are like, wow, what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah, it was cool to like in real time see the rebrand from like the drug dude to the plant guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was cool. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the name? Where does the name come from?
And honestly, it was kind of just like a joke. Okay. People would be like, oh, Nicky's got the nice plants, or it'd be like, oh, that's Nicky with the nice plants.
Yeah.
People that like I wasn't like super close with, but they just knew me from around and stuff. And and then my buddy Steven Champagne, who's an artist, he's a local artist here.
Okay.
He actually designed my logo. Just
wow.
Like I was bouncing around a couple different ideas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hadn't really locked in on one.
Yeah.
And then he sent me the logo. He was like, bro, check this out for Nicky's Nice Plants. And I was like, oh, bro, that's it. I was like, that's what it is. And that's how it happened.
So sweet. Yeah. I love when artists like collaborate.
He's actually
like
who came and painted it on my truck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is
it was
so
such a cool,
sweet.
It's just been such a cool process, and like to have everybody in my life like come together to like help me make it happen, it's a really good feeling.
That's what it's all about. You can never do anything alone.
It takes a village.
It does.
Yeah. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with people.
That was really good.
Yeah.
What makes you different compared to other landscaping companies in New Orleans, would you say?
I think what sets us apart from other landscaping companies, and obviously I'm not saying there's nobody that cares about the plants, but it's like I'm less in it for the dollar amount and more in it for like the plants. Yeah, I do it because I like plants. So it's like I'm not gonna put anything in anybody's yard that isn't gonna do well there. That you know what I mean, or that doesn't look great. I treat a lot of my customers like family, you know, and I treat all of my jobs like they'd be at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know that you get that from a lot of landscape companies here.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about when you're designing, like you've got a blueprint going on, you know what the customer wants, but you know the vision. How are you coming up with what needs to go where and what plants?
So being in New Orleans, it kind of dictates how you're going to do a design, like a lot. You know, we have a lot of water here. And we're below sea level. So the water sits, you know, so that means a lot of raised beds so that the water's got someplace to go, you know, and the plants aren't sitting in it, right? Also plants that like to have wet feet, you know, things that can hold up to that. And it's really hot here, humid here. It's just, you want to get plants that you know are going to last. And I think we do a good job at that. And none of our builds are like cookie cutter suburban builds. A lot of them are authentic and have character, and that's the feel that they have, and that's the feedback I get, you know, from our homeowners, from our customers that we deal with, and from the people that they have in their spaces, you know.
Yeah, like it's one of kind, curated just to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something along those lines, you know.
Yeah.
And you try to prioritize low maintenance here because people are busy. You know, it's a city that keeps moving, and people like to keep moving, you know.
They do.
So you try to prioritize that so that it looks good and grows in well, you know. Yeah.
And what are some of your favorite plants?
I'm a big fan of like tropicals.
Okay.
My favorite plant is for sure monsteras, all the different kinds.
Oh, I think I know that one.
That's right. There's one right behind you.
Okay, yeah.
It's a big Thai constellation. That was kind of the inspiration for the logo.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've always had them around. So when my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, dude, it's like the plants at your house."
Yeah.
You know, so it's been cool. I try to include them on as many jobs as I can. They're not your beginner plant, you know. They can't go everywhere, especially being, like I was saying, it's hot here. We have real hot sun a lot of the time. So it's like if there's a sweet spot in the yard that they can go, I'll just throw them in sometimes, you know, just because like I like them. They might not have even paid for it in the bid, but it's like if I can find a spot for one, I'm gonna, because when it gets big, it's gonna make them feel something. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. Yeah. They're stoked when they get something that they didn't pay for. You know,
that's true.
That wasn't in it. They're like, "Oh, what's this? You did?" It's like, "Oh yeah, man, it's cool. I threw it in there."
Little lanyard.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, that's sick." You know. So.
Yeah, it definitely, I feel like, makes them remember you even more.
Totally, you know? And it makes them want to tell their friends, like, this guy's cool. He threw this in just because it would look good. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People work with who they like. So, like I said, I try to treat my customers like their family. You know. Yeah. That's some shit I'd do for my aunt if she was paying me, you know, baseline price to do her whole house. Like, I threw all this extra stuff in because, you know, it's just family. It's like,
I feel like that's such a New Orleans thing, such a like cultural aspect. You know?
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think that's definitely the Nola in me too.
So I think maybe this was like an Instagram post. You said that Nicky's Nice Plants bloomed from a passion for nature, rooted in the belief that gardens possess transcendental power. What does that mean to you? Could you elaborate a little bit more?
So, and I don't feel like enough people get to experience this in life.
Okay.
Plants, when you care for them and you nurture them the right way, they nurture you back. So it's like this cycle. And you grow with your plants. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing. And it brings you a lot of good energy that you channel into other aspects of your life. It all bleeds over, you know? And I think that's important. I think that's what I kind of try to plant seeds for my customers in their heads while also like putting the plants in their yard, you know? Yeah.
Many, many years ago when I was like a teenager, I had just gotten out of a relationship and my mom was like, you know that you're going to be ready for your next relationship when you can water a plant and like keep it alive. And I was like, you know what? I really like that. And that stuck with me for a really long time.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Have to tell your mom I fuck with that. Yeah.
So you're also very vocal about your sobriety journey online. And kind of just like echoing what you said, you grow with your plants, and you said that you went to rehab. So like, how did plants help you throughout your journey of recovering?
Man, in a time where I like coming home from rehab, you know, and because like that was a whole part of like I said, I got the 3 dogs. I had a whole village of people helping me while I was gone for a month, you know, taking care of my plants, taking care of it was just the dogs at this point. There were no snakes and birds.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all those since I got sober, honestly. But it was like I came home in a time where I like drastically needed to slow down and be intentional with my life and the choices I was making. It's like all of that is so imperative to like caring for plants. You know what I mean? And it just kind of went hand in hand. It helped me to do that, not just with them, but in all aspects of my life. And just gave me something to kind of channel the energy into, you know, and a place to go when like I couldn't turn my thoughts off or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just going to go do plant shit. I'm just going to put my hands in the dirt.
Yeah.
And it worked, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked. And that's a big reason of why the yard, you know, came out the way it did. It was like, I got to find something to do, you know? It's like, I just kept going back there and adding stuff and doing this. And it was like, and that's kind of when I figured out I have a vision, because like people don't see it the way I see it. Like, you know what I mean? They don't see, like, I just see in plant design, like when I see spaces, you know, that could be this could be, and I didn't really realize that until I was doing that, you know?
Yeah.
Like spent so much time really like thinking about it. And so it was cool. It was just a great opportunity to grow, and plants kind of were the catalyst for that for me, like early on in sobriety. It would have been a lot tougher early on. I can say that with confidence. And I had a stellar support system.
Yeah.
And it would have been a lot tougher if I didn't have, you know, something to channel, something that I was passionate about.
Yeah. I really like that word, intentional. And then I think too, especially like anything earth related, earthbound, like it's very grounding, very spiritual, and it kind of like brings you back to what we're supposed to be doing rather than like all of the noise pollution.
Totally.
So that definitely
I agree
makes
with
sense.
that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what led to your path of addiction?
I
If you're
think
comfortable sharing.
no, it's cool. Totally comfortable sharing. I think I've always had an addictive personality, even now, for sure. And it was like I went to college on a track scholarship. I was smoking weed as a kid. I still smoke weed now. And then I got into running because of like a military, like got kicked out of some schools for weed, right? High schools. Went to a boarding school, a military boarding school. Okay. And they kind of made me run. And that's how I found out that I liked to run and that I was good at running.
Okay.
Won a couple state championships there. Went to college for track and ultimately had to stop running competitively due to an injury. Okay. Some stuff with my lower back that it doesn't bother me now, but at the time I couldn't run competitively the way that like they needed me to be on scholarship. So that kind of all went out the window. I got to finish the semester, and then I wasn't getting, like, school wasn't getting paid for, and I didn't really wasn't really into going to college. I didn't like school. I was smart. I was good at testing, had high scores, but like I didn't like school or doing homework or anything like that. I have crippling ADHD. Yeah. So it was kind of my path a little bit, I guess you could say, before I found running, and running kind of like deterred me from that. And then when I couldn't run, it was like, okay, well, whatever. And that's when I started to get into things besides weed.
Okay.
So that's kind of, I guess, how I got on that path. I'd say if there was like a pivotal moment where like the needle pushed past maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really like downward spiraling. It was probably when my dad died when I was 26.
Mm.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
just going
Wow.
through a lot. It was a lot. The whole process of him like being sick and dying, and me being the executor of the estate, and my mom not wanting nothing to do with it because like they had divorced like right before he found out he was sick and had cancer and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just crazy. But so it was like all of that. I think my dad being sick leading up to his death, and then I never really ever dealt with any of it.
Mm.
You know, ever. I have now. But I found all that out when I went to rehab, and I had amazing counselors and people that I still keep in touch with and that like check on me today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if there was like a pivotal moment, it was when my dad died. That's when I really like started going downhill. And by the end of 2022, I had like lost both jobs I had and was still like not slowing down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up under my dining room table downstairs, like still in my suit from Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, this isn't fun no more, you know? Broken wine glass and shit. Had went out all night after like being at my family's and drinking there. And I woke up Christmas and I called my mom and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to go to rehab. I'm going to need some help with everything here. She was like, great. I'm so happy to hear you say this, you know? Because everybody knew, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just not an easy person, or I didn't used to be an easy person to tell things to, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to not be easy to tell me about myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's very easy. I'm a really good person to talk to. And if you need to tell me about myself, I receive it really well now versus like how I used to, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously nobody's perfect. Every day is a work in progress, but yeah, I like who I am today
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
You've done something very commendable. I mean, facing your demons, that's something not a lot of people can do in this lifetime for various reasons. But yeah, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. I am 25. I'll be 26 this year. And, you know, I've had a bunch of people in my family had various health issues. Like my grandmother was on dialysis. My mom has Parkinson's right now. So
Damn,
I
sorry.
relate to that. I guess watching people that you love deteriorate
Totally.
while you're still very young and like still trying to figure out different things and important things in your life. So, and what about your relationships with your family when you were struggling with addiction? Like you said before, you wouldn't have taken that feedback very well. How did you handle that?
They weren't great, you know? I didn't have great relationships. I had great friends who loved me because like they knew who I was at my core, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
But it was like I was shitty to them, you know? Like a lot of people that were really good to me. In retrospect, I was like not the best to them, you know? And I like to think I've made my amends with all of those people, you know? And that they're all very happy for the place that I'm in today, you know?
Yeah.
Even if we aren't as close as like we used to be, you know? But yeah, like plenty of relationships that ended because of something I either did or said while I was fucked up or, you know, me and my family have always been close, but it was like they couldn't really count on me before, you know? And they know they can count on me now. Like me and my mom just bought a duplex not that long ago that we're remodeling. That's never something she would have done with me or that I would have even been in the position to do 3 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Not even. So it's like, it's cool to be able to show up for the people I care about on a consistent basis now, you know, pretty effortlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a lot less selfish now than I'm selfish only for the shit I need to be selfish about now, you know?
Right.
Like the shit that's important, like my sobriety and, you know, and the people I care about, like not the grandiose bullshit that doesn't matter that like I used to think ran the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about when you did choose sobriety? What did it feel like when the old version of you let it go? Like,
I like to say like, and people still call me Nick, especially people that like, but a lot of people in my life today call me Nicky, and Nick was kind of the person I used to be. And I like to think that like, he died and Nicky kind of rose from the ashes, you know, because that's how it feels, you know, like that person feels so far from who I am today, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like I forgot or don't remember the fucked up shit that I've done, because I do, you know, you never forget that. You got to have that as a reference point to know, like,
Right.
why the fuck you're doing this when you're 5, 10, 15 years sober, you know? Why, you know, why you got to go back and make the character flaws and check yourself, and you know, you just work your recovery just because you're doing good. Remembering how you used to be is what keeps you, I feel like, from going back. You know, I think that's important, which is why I'm not scared to talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important being transparent, because I think even though you've already like talked about it, I think it helps you process it more, and then it's relatable for other people who are experiencing the same thing. Yeah. And what do you wish people knew about addiction that maybe they don't know?
That, like, you don't have to be living under the bridge and for your whole life to be fucked up, for you to be fucked up, for you to be an addict. Like, I know a lot of people that I used to be very close with now who live in addiction, and they might have their bills paid and have some money saved, and that's great. I'm glad that they're not under a bridge, but they're not thriving. And I know that. I have both the reference points, you know? I know what could be for like so many people. And I just wish people understood that like, and it's okay to be like, I'm fucking addicted to this shit. They literally like make it so that that's how you end up. Like, it's everywhere. It's shoved down our throats, all of it. Alcohol especially. So it's like, I wish people understood that, like, being an addict isn't the most terrible thing, especially if you can look it in the face and get in front of it and beat it. Then it's like a really powerful thing.
Yeah. That was well said.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier. Like, there are so many different things that people are addicted to that they wouldn't consider, or they don't want to face it. Phones, just an easy one, simple one.
I'm guilty sometimes.
Me
for
too,
real.
for sure.
You know, and so it's just like, in that it's never too late.
Yeah.
You know, it's never too late. You've never wasted too much time.
Right.
You don't know how long you're gonna live, and you don't know how good it could get, how much better it could get.
Yeah.
Like, my life has exponentially transformed over the last 3 years. I could have never, ever fathomed I'd be where I am today.
Yeah.
When I decided to get sober. Ever. Like, none of it. And it's just like, just taking it day by day and putting the right foot in front of the other. You don't know where you'll end up. You don't know how much time you can make up for, you know? I spent my 20s just getting, you know, annihilated, realistically.
Yeah.
And doing dumbass shit and hurting people I cared about. And like, I feel like I've made up more than a decade of time in the last 3 years from doing the right shit. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where I'm at when I'm 40, you know?
Yeah.
After having done having compounded the life I'm living now for a decade versus where I was when I turned 30 from my 20s, you know?
Yeah. Let's kind of pivot to endurance training or running.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, look how cool. Okay, we'll have to show them. So I know that you said you got a scholarship for college, right? In track.
Yeah.
I also know that you do Boring Run Club.
Totally.
And
shout out the gang.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you also, what did you say? You're an ambassador for?
Lazy Hound Racing.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome group of people. Shout out to Angela. Yeah, they put on some really cool races through the city and with some cool people for some cool causes. And I'll be at every one along with a handful of some other of the Boring gang. And it's just always a good time. They put on a good race, and it's a good community to be a part of. And might as well challenge yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm. But what is it you actually like about running? Because every time I hear someone talk about running, I feel like it's so painful. Like, obviously very admirable because it's hard. But
yeah. And I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
I feel like in today's society, like, and you hear it in the airport, you hear it, oh God, what are we gonna do if we don't, like, people make big problems out of fucking nothing. And it's because they don't deal with hard shit. They don't go deal with actual hard shit. And so, like, cool, whatever. It's gonna take a little, like, it's just, you gotta do hard shit in your life and challenge yourself so that when you get to these insignificant things in your life, that you handle them with grace, as opposed to getting all bent out of shape and flustered. And maybe your partner gets flustered as a result. You know, it's just a chain reaction. You know, if you handle challenges and hard shit better, everyone around you is going to benefit from that. And people just don't think about it. People see running as like, it's terrible. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, there's lots of things that's worse than running. Like a heart attack when you're fucking 60 because you're out of shape as shit and you spent the last 2 decades getting drunk every weekend. You know, there's just so much that you get from running that is not running related. That is so life related. Like, running helps you to grow in almost every facet of your life, especially if you really are locked in and you have a community. I've got business from running, you know, literally, and will continue to. Because now I'm a Lazy Hound ambassador. Now I'm tapped in with all these different communities. People that like, trust, respect, and want to share my business and want to see me succeed, you know, not just in running, but in life, because I want the same for them. And I'm not shy about it, because why should you be? You know, that's also something really beautiful about the running community that I've found, is that, like, no one's scared to give you your flowers or be like, hell yeah, you killed it. You know, everybody wants to tell you you did a good job and make you feel good and lift you up. You don't get a lot of that in New Orleans, not in other places. And I've been a lot of the places. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
It kind of goes back to what you said earlier. Like, you can't really do hard things alone. You do need a community to support you.
If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you got to have people with you. It takes a village. We say that all the time at Boring. It takes a village. And it's true. And I've seen it. I've seen it in real time, organically happen with my life, in the support system I had in sobriety, with Boring Run Club and the running community, in the way that core group of people who really locked in has made it really flourish, you know? We've had a sponsored ASICS event. We've got kitted out by ASICS for the Honolulu Marathon. We've got some really cool, crazy stuff coming up that I can't really mention yet for this year. But it's I've seen it happen in real time. What happens when you get like-minded people to lock together and, like, channel their energy into something selflessly, you know? It's powerful.
And you've been to Honolulu with Boring Run Club?
I did not go this year.
Okay, you did.
They all went. I was supposed to go. I was actually, it was like, I was the brainchild, me and our homegirl Alexis, to do it. And then we got everyone to do it. And I wound up having to have a neck surgery a week after I did that 50 miler in October.
50 miles?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Is that
it's an ultra marathon.
Holy, it's just running, purely running?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was fun.
How long did that take?
8.5 hours.
Oh my God. Where was that?
Through the city. It started at Jackson Square at 6 a.m. and we ran down St. Charles till, like, Jackson, and then made our way to Magazine, and then up Magazine around the Fly, back up through, like, the Broadview area.
Wow.
Up over Jeff Davis to Canal, and then all around the lakefront to Second Line Brew. That's where the 50K ended. And then the last 20 miles for the 50 mile were out and backs from Second Line Brew right there on right off Bank Street to the Phoenix Inn on Elysian. We take up Esplanade, and it was fun. It was a day of it.
Holy cow.
And we had mile 20 aid station was a Boring Run Club aid station. So it was like a big party when we got there. I had my guy Cody pacing me a lot of the race. My girlfriend Valerie ran the last 15 miles with me. It was just it was an awesome day. And, like, it was cool to be able to get that done, because I'd been training for that and I wasn't sure how the next surgery. I knew it was coming. I wasn't sure how it was gonna line up, and like the timing of it was great. To where we even thought I was gonna maybe get to go do Hawaii.
Wow.
To be honest, my doctors told me I probably shouldn't run a marathon yet, but I would have went and done it if my legs were just still beat up from the 50 miles. They still are, to be honest. Yeah.
When was that?
In October.
October, you said?
Yeah. It's been a minute. It's been a couple months. My legs are I'm still getting back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool. We're
and
getting there.
How do you recover? What is your self-care like?
Well, see, having to have the neck surgery the week after made it complicated because it was like I wasn't worried about my legs. I was worried about my neck, and I'm sure that's what my body was worried about healing as well, you know. So I just had to. Ideally, you don't want to sit down for 2 months after doing something like that. You know, you don't want to like get inactive after going to run 50 miles. Yeah, you want to kind of like do that and then kind of stay on your feet, deload. So I didn't get to do any of that. I didn't get to go like see my massage therapist or any of the people that, because I couldn't be active. I couldn't do anything once I had the neck thing. I couldn't like push or pull or do any type of like jerking stuff. Definitely not for the first couple weeks. And then even then, they didn't want me lifting heavier than like 10 pounds for like 8 weeks. Yeah, nothing that was gonna like make these muscles strain or anything, because they replaced a disc in my neck, my C5, C6 disc. So I mean, it's cool. I feel great now. But yeah, it's definitely been a process.
And what would you tell someone who wants to start running, but maybe they're nervous?
It's kind of like the same with sobriety, man. Like you just take it a day at a time. You go your speed, and you just want to stick to it. Yeah. So being sober sucks at first too, especially when you're like missing what you think you want or what you think was good.
Right.
But as time grows and you compound your efforts, you realize, wow, this is what's good. And that's like a really good way, I feel like, to explain it. Like, it's going to suck at first. It sucks for me sometimes now, but you feel really good after, you know? Being sober might suck, but when you've done it for 6 months, you feel fucking good after.
Right.
You know? Running's kind of the same. It's going to make you healthier.
Yeah.
It's statistically proven that having an unhealthy heart is worse than smoking cigarettes, worse than doing all the drugs, worse than being sedentary, worse than all that. Yeah. Like low VO2 range is like the highest, like a 500% mortality rate. Because with your heart, if your heart can't get the stuff it needs to your body's organs for it to work, you die, you know? So like having a healthy heart is really important. In not telling people they need to go run 50 miles. That's excessive. But like, but averaging 10 to 15 miles a week is absolutely within everybody that follows me on Instagram's repertoire of abilities. Whether they think they can do it or not, I know they can, because I've seen people way worse off do more now just from being consistent. You know, it's like, it just can benefit you in so many ways. I wish people would stick it out. It's going to suck at first. Like I said, it sucks for me sometimes, a lot of times. But after, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm glad I did that. And the rest of my day is top tier. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
People just like to stay in their comfort zone, unfortunately.
Yeah, this country's kind of built on comfort.
Agreed. Last week, I interviewed Gibran Nassif, who is founder of House and Lens.
Cool.
He does like videography for real estate. He wanted to know, how do you differentiate your services in a market where so many homeowners develop DIY gardening and landscaping skills since 2020?
Like you kind of mentioned already, the word of mouth. People talk about me when I'm not around, or if plants are the conversation. Yeah. Yeah, and that helps. And I'm cool with the DIY. That's how I started. Hit me up. We can consult. I don't got to do it for you. I'll tell you how to do it right. Yeah. And I'm cool with that. And people respect that. Yeah. People will take that info and do it and then be like, okay, but I want you to come do this because I don't even want to try to do that. You know, and they would have never asked me to do that if I wouldn't have been like, look, this is how you do that. And this is how you do it right. You know, this is where you can get the things like, it's no love lost if you don't want me to do it for you. I still want it to come out good for you. I still want it to look good in your space.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how to make that happen. And I'm not going to charge you for it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm always down to set up shop and talk plants with whoever for free. You could call me. Numbers on the truck. Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a guide and mentor. Yeah.
I just like plants are cool. And like people that think that are my people. And that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up very cool. Like, I feel like I'm very privileged in a sense. I mean, my childhood was disrupted, but like the parts that weren't, my mom was one of those people who was holistic. So like whenever I had a headache, it was lavender oil. Like medicine was the last resort. So I definitely remember her like making pickles from scratch and like doing all that stuff. She loved plants too. Like she had a landscaping company at one point, but many years ago. Yeah. So I love that.
Me and your mom would hit it off. We would get along.
You guys would, honestly.
I have
a whole bunch of books that I've been putting off that I want to read, and it's more so like herbal medicine, not necessarily like weed and stuff, but like
I know what you're talking, like dandelions and shit like that. For sure.
That I think is so fascinating.
So cool.
But
they don't want you to think it works, but I'm knowing it works.
Yeah, seriously. So for someone listening who's trying to rebuild their life, start fresh, or pursue something meaningful, what is some advice that you would want to leave with them? I would just like to circle back to what I said earlier about it never being too late, you know, never ever. No matter how much time you think you've wasted, it's never too late. I started my career and my business at 30. I got my shit together at 30. I know people who have done it at 40 and are more successful than they've ever been, you know? So it's just like, that's what I would want to leave people with. And that it's going to be hard, but it's important to continue to try, you know, because you only got one life, you know? Yeah. Don't follow what everybody else is doing, you know, especially in this city. Yeah. Yeah. Running with the wrong people in this city could have you in a real fucked up spot. Really can. Go for a run. Nicholas Sciambra, thank you so much for being with us today. Hell yeah. Yay!